I'm going to start recording, and we're going to start early because we are at 6:30 going to go into our NSS session, which is important for your part 1 for your POE. So for the next half an hour, I want to cover the key learning areas of Learning Unit 3 that are relevant to your NSS and your POE, and then we are going to, I've sent you another link, and we're going to go into the NSS session with the other group so that each group gets exactly the same guidance for your POE. So what we're going to discuss this evening is the Learning Unit 3, Segmentation, Targeting and Positioning. And I really hope you guys had an opportunity to have a look at the videos that I sent you earlier in the week. They are absolutely amazing. They are so incredibly clear. They have highlighted the key issues of segmentation, targeting and positioning very well. And what is really good news is that they also very much focused on the car industry, which is the whole reasoning and the whole case study behind our POE. So that really helps us for this particular POE. What I wanted to show you, that I show you every time we meet, is that this again is our whole course on one slide. And tonight we are going to look at what marketers do to choose their markets. So there is essentially a 3-stage process in this. I just want to quickly recap. In the beginning of the course, we looked at marketing and its functions. We have looked at the environment and the impact of those environments. And tonight we are going to concentrate on 3 fundamental and critical elements of marketing: segmentation, targeting, and positioning. You cannot develop a marketing strategy, and remember, your marketing strategy is your product, price, place, and promotion, until you know who your customer is. So we look at 3 very important elements, and this slide, I'll obviously flesh out each element, but I wanted to give you one slide that gives you a synopsis of these 3 elements. STP, we call it, and this happens, and this is what companies do before they develop their marketing strategy. The first element is that they start grouping people. Segmentation means dividing people into groups, and these groups of people have common wants and needs. And the reason for this is that because they have similar wants and needs, and they are very similar to each other, they will respond in the same way to a marketing strategy. So just briefly, that targeting is then, once marketers have decided and grouped people into groups that are similar, they then decide which groups they're going to focus on. And that is what we call targeting. And then positioning is all about how a company wants people to perceive them in the market. But let's take each one of these and flesh them out a little bit. So essentially, as I said, segmenting a market is putting people into groups that have similar wants and needs. And there are so many different ways that you can do this in marketing. The videos that I sent you talked about a car manufacturer coming into the South African market. Isn't that very helpful for you guys? Because that's exactly what our portfolio of evidence is all about. And the videos talked about, well, there are different types of people. There are students, there are families, there are sportsmen, and students have very similar wants and needs and will respond to different types of products and marketing strategies similarly, as will a family. A car that a family needs is very different to a car that a student needs. The video also talked about a sportsman who goes a lot off-road, goes into very much wild areas, and requires a different type of car to a student and a family. So we're starting to see how you can segment or group people according to their needs and who they are. And there are different ways that marketers can do this. One of the first ways is they can do it from a demographic perspective. And demographics essentially are what customers potentially look like, their age, their genders, their social class, income, education, and people who are similar in age, gender, income level, and education will have similar wants and needs. Marketers also group people according to what we call psychographic variables. These are variables that include things like lifestyle. So a sports enthusiast is looking for thrill seeking and will require a different type of car to a non-sports enthusiast. So psychographic variables are very much along the lines of the type of person that purchased the particular car, the motives behind it, and what they want the car for. Marketers can also group people according to where they actually live, geographics, and this is a very common means of market segmentation, i.e. in terms of groups of people in the same country, same region, city, even it goes down to even a suburb level. Even a climate. There are certain products and services that are very climate specific and then would require some form of market segmentation that has a climate element. And then the last way that marketers can group people is on terms of behavior. And this is when a customer has already purchased a product or service, to then have a look at their attitude towards that product or service. So are they happy with it? Are they particularly brand loyal? If a customer has bought a Toyota, will they potentially buy that Toyota again in the future? If they wanted to upgrade their car or their life stage changes, would they continue to purchase that particular brand? So segmentation is dividing groups of people into common wants and needs, and the different ways that marketers can do it. And there are many more segmentation variables, but for the sake of this particular course, we are only looking at those. What I'm not going to do is go through stages and advantages and disadvantages of segmentation tonight, because they're not really relevant to your POE. So what I wanted to show you, a good example, and again, we're keeping with the car theme, and remember I asked you to think about competitors for bike. Toyota is a very important competitor for bike, but let's have a look at some segmentation that's happening here. So when we are looking at different markets, we can see there are 3 different types of Toyotas there. And when we look at the needs and the elements and the type of person that purchased these products, there we go. So we can see on the left, there's our Toyota Prado. What is it? It's a 4x4 luxury. People purchase this car because of its style and performance and its feature. Oh, Nia, that's amazing. It's good. Help me if I'm getting it wrong. And this particular segment of Toyota is looking for a particular type of car. They are generally high income people. There's your demographic. They are thrill seeking. They are psychographic. and they are looking for particular types of product benefits. If we look in the middle, there we can see our Lexus. So there is a high-end luxury car as well. And these are the groups of people who want style and grace, performance of a luxury car. Again, if we look at demographically, tend to be a little bit older, tend to be high income, generally educated, etc. And there we've got our little entry-level Toyota there. And there we can see, we know what type of product it is. It is affordable, it's small. This is kind of your entry-level student car, lower to middle class income, South African. And these are people who are looking for the value, efficiency of a particular product. So we can see with the Toyota example that there are 3 different market segments that the company, and there's many more, I'm just using this as an example, that the company has divided groups of people into. So think carefully about our bike example. If we have a look now at what market targeting is. So a company or a marketer has grouped people based on similar wants and needs. The next stage of this process is then to choose which segments they want to meet the needs of. And as we saw in the Toyota example, a company will only choose choose their target markets if those markets are sizable, they're growing, that they can compete relative to competitors in the market, that their own business objectives are being met. And this is a very important element, is that companies cannot meet everybody's needs. If they have segmented the market, they then need to decide how many of those market segments we are going to service. And there are many different ways that marketers target, and these are important for your portfolio of evidence. What are the marketing approaches available and there again, I'm using the cars. What are the marketing approaches available to marketers? So let's have a look. The first type of marketing, target marketing strategy, is what's called an undifferentiated marketing strategy, also known as market aggregation. Yes, Neo?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to comment, but anyway, so we launch a couple of vehicles like
Yes, of course you are. Anytime, I would love you to.
Yeah, so we launch a couple of vehicles almost every month, and prior to us obviously going ahead, we do a lot of market research with a company called Battalier Brand Planning, and what they do is that they literally go out and find different groups based on the different segment. So we've got your sub-segment A vehicles, which would be your ETOS, and then you've got your light delivery vehicles, which are your buckies. You've got your high-end values. But how we break it up is that we've got literally 4 segments that we look at, and these are the thrifties. These are the guys that are obviously, when buying a car, money in the economy matters to them most, and these are the guys that you'd look at for vehicles within the sub-segment A. And then you've also got your sensibles. And these are basically guys that are sensible to like primary considerations of what's happening as well, and currently with what's happening within their lives. And then we've also got expressives. These are guys that literally look at styling and purpose and how literally their personal taste is attributed to the vehicle as well. And then you've got your last form of group, which these are like performers. These are guys that are literally into like performance and technology of a vehicle. So these are the 4 different target audience that we literally base our market research on to try and get information. It's been broken down into like a needscape segmentation, proper presentation, which literally looks at all South Africans with regards to what's currently happening as well. It would be interesting, I think, if I could try share this with the class as well going forward, so you guys can actually have a look with regards to how we break down on demographics from a gender perspective, age, lifestyle, the provinces, employment, and literally monthly household income as well, because this literally allows us to develop a strategy based on the needs of who we're actually addressing going forward. So this is just, I don't know if I could share, but I can't even share on the screen here, but this is just the information that's around with regards to when we start off with literally a marketing campaign for any segment vehicle that's going out. So in as much as we launch a Prado, a Lexus, or in fact a Hino truck, we literally go far as literally doing market research to try and understand who's going to be purchasing the vehicle, what's its purpose, what's currently happening, like all different scenarios within why that obviously get that vehicle. And prior to us going out to market, we literally have to answer the question why. So maybe
No,
given
that
the
is
opportunity,
absolutely amazing. That is
if
exactly what we're doing here.
it's quite
And
interesting to hear that you're looking at it as well.
yes, so you know what you are saying is you have profiled segments of the market. You have decided that you have chosen four specific target markets, and you then go out and you develop the product, understand the needs, develop the product, understand the psychographics, the behavior, what the people look like, all as per. I just want to get back to the slide that we were talking about. What you were saying is that you are profiling each segment or your target segments according to all of these elements, which is exactly what
100%.
we're talking about. So
Yeah, and
thank you
we've just
so much
literally
for that.
jumped in. Yeah.
Would
Let me see
you
if I
be
can
able to
share a
share that
picture.
information with us and I can send it
I'm gonna
to
try and
everybody
share.
else?
I'll try and share a picture of my slides that I'm actually looking at right now. I think this should be
I,
able to try in the WhatsApp
I
group.
don't think, oh,
Or maybe I'll
okay,
try.
you can.
Maybe can I try email it to you?
Yes, if you email it to me, I will send it on because it would be
Maybe let me try
really
and email it
awesome
to you.
to know exactly what Toyota are doing right now at this moment in time and how you actually do profile and look at your target markets. So that would be
Okay.
absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Okay. No problem. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So let's have a look at some of the target marketing strategies that car manufacturers, in fact, any marketer or company can use. The first one is what is called undifferentiated marketing. And undifferentiated marketing is when you develop a product for everybody. Now, this doesn't really happen anymore. You see my little car there on the slide. That is Henry Ford's Ford, and they developed one product for the whole market. Now, as we've just said, we can see that markets have different wants, needs, appeals, etc. So undifferentiated marketing doesn't really happen anymore. The most popular target marketing strategy is what is called differentiated marketing. And Neo's just explained exactly what Toyota do there. This is where a product is developed for different segments. So each product has a particular market that it is targeted towards, understands its product needs, etc. And companies then need to decide how many target markets they are going to service. As you said, Neo, you're looking at four main big target markets. So differentiated target marketing is where there is a multiple segment strategy, where target markets are selected, 1 or 2 or 10, depending on the company, and then a specific product or service is developed for the needs and wants of that target market. The next type of target strategy is what is called a concentrated marketing strategy. And this is when a company focuses only on one segment of the market. And if we continue in the car light, Tesla, when they first started out, had very much a concentrated marketing strategy with their first product that they launched. They weren't going out to look at any other market other than a very, very specific one. And then the final type of target marketing strategy that can be used is what is called a niche market. And this is when a company looks at a very, very small segment, almost a segment within a segment of a market, and develops a very, very unique product or service for that particular market. And there we've got an example of a particular sports car, like a Porsche. A very small group of people, generally very exclusive products and services, but a small market segment. We even go further than that in target marketing, and it's what is called mass customization. And this is when products and services are made specifically for a particular customer. So mass customization actually does happen in the car market now. We go back to Tesla. When you order a Tesla, you can have it completely customized to your specifications. Levi Jeans in New York, you will walk into the store and they will customize you a pair of jeans designed exactly the way you want them. So these are the very important target marketing approaches that you need to understand for your portfolio of evidence in terms of how you see bike in the market and its competitors. And the final stage of this particular STP marketing we call is what is called positioning. And positioning is essentially how we want customers to perceive us in the market. So what do? We as marketers, we have to firstly identify competitors. Just as a matter of interest, I think I asked you guys last time, who do you think the main competitors for bike are in the market? I've given you one of them, and Neo works for one of them. So he is in a very, very good position for his portfolio of evidence. But product positioning is saying, who are the competitors? How do we want to be compared to our competitors? Do we want to be compared on quality? Do we want to be compared on image? And Neo, this is what you were talking about. This is when market research comes in. Research is conducted where there is analysis of the market and how people perceive a product and a brand. And then how can we make sure that we are positioned in the mind of the customer the way we want ourselves to be positioned. And if we look at some, we're not going to go through them, but just to show you some positioning statements in South Africa, it's giving us a very clear understanding of how we want to be seen in the market. So to give you an example, something like OUTsurance, you always get something out. What that means is we see OUTsurance, if we are customers, as an insurance company that doesn't rip us off, that we are getting value for money, that actually we do get something from our insurance company. Toyota, what is the positioning, Neo? Help us here on Toyota. What would you say it is?
So for different vehicles, there's different angles. Do you know what I mean? I think, but the biggest selling point that we look at is obviously reliability as well, and then the guaranteed future value of a vehicle. So more than anything, I think that Toyota holds its value. And what we've always sold to market is that the guaranteed future value of your vehicle doesn't depreciate at all. So in as much as you hold on, I've still got guys who literally have bought Hiluxes in like 2020, and they're literally still selling and holding on to that value. In terms of reliability, the quality is awesome. It doesn't die out at all. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we literally sell. But
Absolutely.
this is for different sub-segments as well. But the brand itself offers, the whole brand itself, from a Toyota South Africa Motors perspective, what we do is that we literally sell reliability and guaranteed future value of your vehicle, meaning that we sell quality.
Excellent. Okay, well, thank you for that. So the whole slogan of yeah, yeah, you're doing a really good marketing job, Neo, on Toyota. My husband and I both drive Toyotas, I've got to tell you. Everything does keep going right. So there we go. I just wanted to show you as per Toyota in terms of positioning, and let's see if it's in line with what Neo's just said. Toyota will lead future mobility, blah, 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 and commitment to quality, innovation. It didn't say anything about holding value, but I think that is a very, very important element of the positioning of Toyota, I have to say.
That's held under the quality aspect.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
that's held under the
definitely.
quality aspect.
Just to look at Apple in terms of a positioning in the market, luxury technology brand, aspirational, unique, one of a kind, to provide customers with the best experience, innovative hardware and software. So again, something we know because it's a very significant brand. What is important for you guys, for your POE, is to note that there are different positioning methods that can be used. And marketers use one or two of them, but all products are positioned in one way or another. And I'm going to go very quickly through these because they're so nicely explained in your textbook and particularly in the videos that I sent you. But to look at elements, firstly, what we call attribute positioning. And this is when a product or brand is looking at the character of a product. So just a little example, KFC, finger licking good. The attribute that the product is positioned on is taste. Benefit positioning is a particular benefit that a customer would derive from that particular product. There on the screen, I used the example of Gillette, the benefit being an even closer shave, a smoother shave. Products can also be positioned on what we call use or application positioning. And this is when products are positioned in terms of how they can be used by the particular customer in particular situations, occasions. I don't know if anybody drinks Graka wine, but it's positioned to be an all anytime fun type, very easy drinking wine, also very well priced. User positioning is what customers would do with a particular product. Some products are positioned in terms of thrill seekers. So the example there is Red Bull gives you wings, and another position would be competitor positioning. This is being positioned better than your competitors. The classic example, Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Product category positioning. This is kind of when you are trying to break away from the category that you're in. Good example, well, there's a Porsche there, but an iPad. An iPad is essentially a tablet, but Apple positioned the iPad as this kind of lifestyle element. It's better than a tablet. It's almost a mini computer. And then the last means of positioning is what we call quality or price, one or the other, where products and services are positioned on one spectrum or the other. So good example in South Africa on quality positioning, we would know is Woolworths in terms of its quality, and then price positioning, a good example would be, say, Pep stores. We keep it in the same retail space. So these positioning methods or these positioning strategies are very well explained in your textbook. Please, if you haven't looked at the videos I've sent you, please have a look at them. They really are excellent in this vein. And remember, we are constantly talking about cars here. So I've gone through that quite quickly because we're going to go through our national support session now, and there's another link for that, as I said. But before we close off, are there any questions with the theory that we have had a look at tonight? Okay, so we're all good. Well, thank you very much, everybody. And Neo, I really appreciate your input. Thank you so much. If you send me your slides, I will gladly share them with the rest of our group so we can actually use a real life example. Will be absolutely stunning. Thank you very much, everybody. I will see you in the NSS session in about a minute. Okay, bye.